Number 5 is a sleeper pick, and I'm kind of sad no one really talked about this album, although I get it, he's kind of an older guy, and even back when, he was in his prime, he wasn't exactly like a household name, but Chorus to Inevitability was actually an incredible album by Lloyd Banks. Really, really enjoyed it. It had, one of the things I liked the most about it was how cohesive it was. There was this very like dark atmosphere, sort of, Indiana Jones walking to a mysterious bar kind of energy that I really, really liked. And it made a canvas for, Lloyd Banks to just go insano mode with the bars. Really enjoyed a lot of his bars, a lot of his experience and breaking down, what he's been through and the trauma that he's had to go through as a sort of drug dealer and just as a street dude in general. Really, really strong project. Definitely got repetitive at some points, and I wish, kind of like with Don Q's album, there was a little bit more variation in the subject matter. But overall, really, really, really strong project, and definitely by far the most underrated project of this year. There was a lot of standouts: Power Steering, Dead Roses, Menace, super strong projects. Also, the features was also super good. Jadakiss definitely redeemed himself from what he did on New York. The two Griselda members on this album were actually incredible, and overall the feature game was pretty dope. Doesn't have the highest amount of replay value for me, just because, like I said, it gets a little bit repetitive, and it kind of bleeds in with a lot of other lyricists that came out this year. But overall, a really, really dope project. Next up, at number 4, we have 2000 by Joey Badass. Man, like, the first thing that comes to mind when I think polish, absolutely just polish. From the Status Selected production, that was just, oh my god, firing on all cylinders. I haven't listened to every single A Boogie Joey Badass project, but from what I've heard from him, I've heard 1999 and All American Badass. This is probably his best produced project. From the stuff on Brand New 911s to the beat on Survival's Guilt to even just Head High, everything was and Make You Feel was a woo. That beat was different. I love the sample on that. From just a production standpoint, there was so much going on, so much just glossy, beautiful production. Even the way that, before even getting to what he's saying, just the way that his voice comes in, his flows were so dope to me, so laid back and relaxed, something I really, really enjoy, from Joey Badass in general. But now getting into the writing, it was pretty strong. I definitely feel like he did his thing. This was definitely much more of a more personal and vulnerable album. You have that song, Survival's Guilt, along with Head High and Eulogy, where he is just sort of talking about who he is and the difficulties and the strife that he's sort of been on throughout his life. I really enjoyed the way that each song felt like it represented a different thing. For the most part, there was, of course, a couple of songs that I felt like, could have been scrapped out, and some songs where I felt like they repeated the same message. But for the most part, it was really, really a strong record for just, each song representing something different. Also, the features on here, man, absolutely insane. Westside Gunn, man, I need Westside Gunn on everybody's album, bro. Westside Gunn was different on Brand New 911. It's easily one of the best beats of the year. Absolutely fire. Killed his part. So many. Larry June absolutely killed it. JID, man, Artist of the Year, overall Artist of the Year in my opinion, you feel me, Forever Story Album of the Year, but JID killed it on his part. Chris Brown did his thing. I feel like everyone really, contributed from a feature perspective, and really, even Diddy did his thing, and I ain't gonna lie, I don't even like Diddy that much. I mean, that may be his own video. I don't even really rock with Diddy that much, but what he gave to this album, even what he gave to Tenor Talk 4, both times, he really did his thing, you feel me? So, absolutely, 2000, definitely one of the strongest albums this year. Like I said, there were definitely a few songs where I felt like that could have been chopped off. Also, I feel like from a writing perspective, I understand that, he's trying to be introspective and things of that nature, but I wish there was a few more songs like Make You Feel that had more like bars and lyricism and rhyme schemes, because especially with how competitive New York music is nowadays, you got people like Benny making triple entendres, rhyming entire sentences. And so if you're going to compete as a lyricist, the competition is definitely fierce. And I do wish that from a technical perspective, we definitely got a little bit more from Joey on this album. But overall, wonderful album. All right, here we go, guys. Now we got top 3. First, I got to give it to Hitler Wears Hermes 10. The album cover. Nah, that's it. Double up, not playing. But the album cover was fire. But overall, this felt like a bit more of a Khaled album. With the amount of features on it, but like an actually well executed type album. And he definitely did his thing. The soundscape on here definitely, while it was cohesive, there was also a decent amount of versatility throughout, and really enjoyed. I feel like every song was different. And it was interesting because I would definitely say that it was a solid effort by Westside Gunn. Cohesion was there, but also the experimentation was there as well. Really enjoyed sort of that dichotomy of every song sounding different, but they're still feeling like a come together theme to this album. I really, this probably from a feature perspective was the strongest album of the year. From Busta Rhymes to Yasin Bey to even A$AP Rocky killed his joint. Stove God Cooks, I think was the guy. Stove God Cooks was damn near on every song as well. And of course, Westside Gunn was no slouch himself. Definitely, didn't get carried on this album whatsoever, did his thing. But from an artistic perspective, man, Westside Gunn is something different. And really, I feel like got an eclectic group of people. Made the album feel like it was just this masterclass in celebrating New York's hip-hop royalty. And it was great to watch that, unfold and take place. I was really happy to sort of just be able to witness that album, see all those people come together and do that. So yeah, definitely Westside Gunn with 10 is going to be up there at number 3. Number 2, and some people may have an issue with this, but I got to give it to KD3, man. KD3 was actually an insane album for me this year. From the Hit Boy production, Hit Boy about to be the next one of them super producers, bro. Hit Boy and Metro Boomin is about to be our Kanye West and Pharrell. Y'all wait on him, bro. Y'all wait on it. Hit Boy already ready to Dr. Dre, in my opinion. That's me personally, though. Anyway, from the Hit Boy production, where he was experimenting, I feel like this time with more old school sounds. And it was a better blend, I feel like, where Nas felt more comfortable on the beats, but Hit Boy also got to infuse his modern sound. I feel like that mix was a little bit better just from like a production and sort of comfortability standpoint. That was really strong. But also, man, I feel like Nas really had something to say on this album, from the songs like Beef to songs like Thun, to the latter half of the project where he's talking about the violence in his community and the difficulties that he feels like he is having trying to make a change and trying to get other people to hear his message. It was really a dope project with a dope message behind it that I really enjoyed. Every song felt like it had a bit of a different theme, of course, besides the 2 or 3 songs where he was talking about his own journey in hip-hop. But that's to be expected. Every artist is going to do that. But overall, man, this was a really well-written project. And it's crazy because he was completely by himself. He had to carry the track list, solo dolo, but he did it. He really did it. And that's, again, sort of similar to the points I give to double albums for accomplishing that feat. Doing an album by yourself is a feat within itself, and a darn impressive one at that. And so I feel like, KD3 was really strong. And I think the biggest shock to me was that it never felt like it got repetitive. All the beats were really lively, and each thing had a different theme to it, and each song had a different theme to it, which was really dope. And the last thing I want to speak on with KD3 is, man, and I'm guilty of this too. A lot of people be clowning Nas because he's got a one-dimensional flow. Even Jay-Z said in Takeover. That was not the case on this album. From a flow perspective, this was up there with the best. I'll put this flow-wise next to Fabio, and straight up. I'll put it next to Fabio and Westside Gunn just for how good, the flows and the cadence were. There was moments where he was just rippity rap and just rapping, pretty quickly. Moments where he took his time. Honestly, it was kind of amazing. And flow is one of the most important things to keep somebody engaged as a listener. And I feel like he was definitely able to do that for me. So absolutely, Nas with KD3 killed it. And of course, number one, if you sort of see my content throughout this year, you probably know what's coming. Number one has got to be "God Don't Make Mistakes" by Conway the Machine. Easily the most, easily the best produced album on this year. I don't know what Alchemist was on. Like, I don't know what they was doing, bro. But this man went different with the production. From the samples to some of the sound effects to even just the way that everything was intermixed with his voice was absolutely incredible. But on top of that, Conway just comes through with, like, easily, I think, if not the one of the best written albums this year, this decade. Absolutely insane, from the vulnerability that he got to on stuff like Wildly Chapter and God Don't Make Mistakes, to just the stick talk on stuff like John Woo Flick and Tear Gas. He really got into his bag on this one. There was so much diversity in his subject matter, and similar to an A Boogie, each song felt like it served a different purpose, which was really dope, but there was still that level of cohesion that I really, really, really appreciated. But one thing I feel like that definitely tips this album over the edge for me is, I feel like, music as a art form, as any art form does, is supposed to invoke emotion. And this album really invokes strong emotions when you hear it, from his vulnerability about, the kind of father that he is, to him being made fun of for the way that he looks, to going through the situation and talking about how it all happened and how it all went down. He really, really, really came through and gave us some heavy tearjerkers on this album. Absolutely, just like, vulnerability to the max. But of course, there was those other songs where you got to make sure his pen game is different. His pen game is also different. I feel like that's definitely what puts him above people like Joey. Is that, and Tana Talk 4, is that he has the vulnerability that I feel like maybe Tana Talk 4 was missing, or the diversity that maybe a Tana Talk 4 was missing, but the lyricism and the technicals that maybe a 2000 was missing. It was really an incredible, complete album from one of the best lyricists of all time, in my opinion, Conway the Machine. I can't wait to see what he does next. He's been on an upward trajectory, absolutely killing it, and it seems like he's also making more mainstream waves, which is also super, super cool to watch. Can't wait to see where he goes from here. But yeah, definitely God Don't Make Mistakes, number one. Also, couple quick announcement I just wanted to say: in the description to every video of these top ranking videos, so the Crowning the King video, there's this link, and for this one's going to be a link as well. Each one sends you to the playlist for each of my top 10s. So when for Crown the King, you got all the best songs from all the top 10 artists this year who I feel like have really been killing it. For this this video, you're going to have all of the best albums this year in chronological order. I just took 2 songs a piece. I didn't put the whole albums, of course, just to give you a sense of what was really going on per project, and give you a sense of what is really the quality that is coming out of New York. And of course, when the song bracket comes out, I'm going to have a list of those songs as well. But yeah, definitely go check out those playlists and leave me a like on those playlists and let me know that you saw them. And let me know what you think of my albums of the year this year. Let me know what you think I got wrong. Let me know what you think I got right. What albums would you have had? And what were some of your favorite albums this year? With that being said, thank you everybody for watching and have a good day, y'all. Peace.